So, who are you? I mean, really? It's a massive question, right? The kind that can keep you staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. But what if I told you that the clearest answer to this very modern problem comes from a secret that's been hiding for 1,000 years? Let's dig in. Just think about it for a second. If you strip away your job title, your follower count, your role in your family, what's actually left? If you've ever felt that late night dread while scrolling through social media, you know this feeling. It's so easy to get lost behind all the labels we wear. Well, it turns out this very modern crisis has an incredibly ancient answer. It comes from this brilliant, kind of mind bending thought experiment crafted by a Persian polymath way back in the 11th century. We're talking about a guy named Avicenna, a philosopher and physician who came up with this profound scenario he called the floating man. And trust me, it is startlingly relevant for us today, right here in the digital age. Okay, so here's how it goes. I want you to really try and imagine this. You're suddenly brought into existence, fully formed, but you're just floating in a complete vacuum, total emptiness. You can't see anything, you can't hear a single sound, and you can't feel a thing, not even air on your skin, because there isn't any. Now, here's the really wild part. You don't even have any sensation of your own body. Your arms and legs are kind of suspended so they don't touch each other. You don't feel a heartbeat. You don't feel yourself breathing. You are completely cut off from all sensory information. So this is the big question Avicenna posed. In that state of absolute nothingness, with zero input from the outside world or even your own body, would you still be certain that you exist? And Avicenna's answer was a resounding yes, absolutely. He argued that even with nothing to see, hear, or feel, you would still be aware. You would still know, deep down, I am. That core consciousness, that awareness of your own self, it's just there. It's undeniable. And the implication here is, well, it's huge. What Avicenna was arguing is that your core self, what he called the nafs, or the soul, is fundamentally separate from your physical body. Your awareness doesn't actually need a body or senses to know that it exists. It's its own thing. Now, if this whole idea of knowing you exist just by being aware is sounding kind of familiar, it should. But there's a major historical plot twist here that most of us never learn about. You've probably heard of the French philosopher René Descartes and his famous line, cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. It's basically the bedrock of modern Western philosophy. But look at this. The core concept is identical to Avicenna's. The most fundamental thing we can be sure of is our own awareness. 600 years. Think about that for a second. Avicenna laid out this foundational idea more than half a millennium before Descartes made it famous in the West. It's incredible. An ancient Eastern thought experiment basically set the stage for a revolution in Western thought. Okay, so this is a fascinating piece of history for sure. But the real question is, does this 1,000-year-old idea actually hold up today? Let's see what modern science has to say about it. And what's wild is that modern neuroscience is basically catching up to Avicenna. Researchers today talk about something called minimal self-consciousness, which is just a baseline awareness that doesn't need any input. Philosophers call it pre-reflective awareness, that constant background hum of I am that's always there. Heck, even studies with sensory deprivation tanks show that when you're in total isolation, your sense of self doesn't vanish. For some people, it actually gets stronger. So here's the most crucial point for us right now. All those thoughts, all those emotions, sensations, and labels that we think are us, they're not the real you. They're just things you're experiencing. You are the one experiencing them. You're the awareness that's just noticing it all. This is way more than just a cool theory, you know? It's a practical tool for dealing with our crazy, chaotic world. So how can we take this 1,000-year-old wisdom and actually apply it to our lives? We can break it down into 3 really simple, actionable steps. First, practice self-noticing. Second, do a little something I like to call an identity audit. And third, and this one's a big one, detox from the constant performance we all do online. Let's dive into that identity audit because it's powerful. Grab a piece of paper, seriously, and write down all the labels you identify with. Your job, your family role, your hobbies, even your deepest beliefs. Now, one by one, cross them out. And for each one, ask yourself, if I lost this, would I stop existing? If you lose your job, you're still here. If your relationships change, you're still here. So what's left when every single label is gone? Just that core awareness. That's you. And that third step, the digital detox, it's totally backed by modern science. Social media literally trains us to build and perform an identity for an audience. But when we step back, like this 2018 study found, we stop that endless comparison game, and the result, a pretty significant drop in feelings of depression and loneliness. It gives you the space to actually connect with that real inner self. So, what's the ultimate takeaway from this whole journey? What's the point of this 11th century thought experiment? It's all about finding a source of stability, a sense of self-worth that can't be rocked by whatever the world throws at you. Look, your job can disappear. Your social status can go up and down. Your follower count could drop to 0 tomorrow. All of that stuff is temporary and it's external. But that fundamental awareness, that silent witness to your entire life, that can never be taken away. It is the only truly permanent thing you have. So if you take just one thing away today, let it be this. You are not the thoughts, feelings, or roles you play. You are the stable, quiet awareness behind all of it. You are the subject who experiences, not the ever-changing objects of the experience itself. And I'll just leave you with one final question to really let this sink in. Right now, in this very moment, who or what is aware of this screen? Who's aware of the sound of my voice? That awareness, that's the real you.